everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Afton and I'm Monty's Tarot Child. Here on my channel I have general readings for the collective and pick a card readings like the one that we have here today. This pick a card is specifically a message from your ancestors. This could be ancestors that you know or ancestors that you haven't actually met just yet and will be meeting in the spiritual realm. And they have very divine messages for you. And they also want to affirm you. So there's going to be a message, and then I have a lot of affirmation cards included in each one of these piles. So I'd love for you to just take a moment to pause and meditate which of these four piles is holding the message for you, is the most accurate for you, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. You chose this beautiful tiger's eye crystal. Okay. And I'm gonna just put this to the side for us to focus on her energy on the side. And I'm going to look at the overall theme first before I get into anything else. The overall theme of the message that your ancestors are trying to send you. I'm going to read the short passage from the book as well, just to get a very in-depth glance at the messages that your ancestors are trying to send you. So we have beyond the mind, the heart beats. Wow, that's beautiful. With the number 21 there. Okay, so beyond the mind, the heart beats. I really want to get into this one and to see how Elena describes this for you. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our minds, it can be difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within, yet is always there. Beneath this ceaseless activity, there is an endless, vast spaciousness that restores and connects us to something greater, something that exists outside of time. Some might call it eternity. Within that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. That sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the entire universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the greater universal heartbeat. The totality of life, all of your being, can be felt as one through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. It is through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. This is the love that inspires, energizes, and moves us to create, even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, and the quest for that which is truly fulfilling. These are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. There is the way of the mind, which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it is turning mountains into molehills. Then there is the way of the heart. It is the subterranean and moves subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways and responding to what is before it even occurs in the physical world. However, with the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. So I'm not going to read the entire message because we're going to be very, specific in this reading for you specifically as we can, pile number 1. And what I am sensing and feeling is that there was, and possibly still is, a discordant energy between the mind and the heart. Sometimes we allow our mind to take control. Sometimes it closes us off to more intuitive possibilities, more things that we would have felt rather than seen. So I feel as if there is a balancing coming into this energy for you, but I'm going to look even further into the oracle here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Even further into the oracle. And I'm going to see what else so many cards. I have a lot of cards for you in this reading. I'm going to see what else your ancestors are trying to bring you with this message of the heart and the mind. So we have expansion. Wow. Outer world, blossoming, doing. Wow. And we also have right up here in the corner is the symbol for Jupiter as well. Just wanting to point that out. But we have expansion here. So I absolutely feel this in the energy of beyond the mind, because it's something that is expanding within you so greatly that it's not just happening within a certain aspect of your life. It's also what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like this is your perspective shifting on a lot. I feel as if this is a spiritual adaptation that you're taking on here, especially with Jupiter and being so spiritually connected. So this is an expansion of your mind and an acceptance within your heart. This deck is pretty new to me, so I'm going to just go off of it as intuitively as possible. You are absolutely in a phase, in a stage of blossoming. I feel as if you have come from more so of the unknown, and now we're stepping out more in the light of day or light of evening, and just feeling more confident in our steps because of this. Absolutely in a very action-oriented phase right now, feeling very lucky, feeling very optimistic about certain situations and wanting to take action, wanting to be in this state of doing, and wanting to experience a lot of your outer world as well. You also have the Alchemist. Yes, I remember seeing this while I was shuffling because it popped right out. I do want to point out the Scorpio here. This card is ruled by Scorpio. We have Metamorphosis, Depth, Endurance, which is going on for you right now. You are absolutely in a state, again, of transition, of change, metamorphosis completely. The reason why this specific card stood out to me, of course, look at me moving stuff and messing stuff up. The reason why this card specifically stood out to me was because as I was shuffling for these two cards specifically in the deck, in the Cosmos Oracle deck, I was thinking about Scorpio. I was thinking about Scorpio and I was like, yeah, we're absolutely coming into Scorpio season. And in my head, I swear to you not, pile number one, I said, happy birthday, Scorpio. And this card flipped over, so much so that I had to give you this card, right? So Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation, deep, just regenerative, like complete transformation. This is a kind of change that happens only through alchemy. It's like when we are trying to cleanse something out and we didn't get all the spots. That's not Scorpio. Scorpio is a very fixed sign, so they're gonna get it all, okay? So this transformation that is happening for you, especially internally, is going to be something that reconnects you. Is also what I'm feeling like. When we are able to allow this change to happen, when we are able to endure it, then there's this new beginning that is able to be birthed as well. I do want to point out a bit of the numerology. We have 50, which breaks down into a 5, 24, which is a 6, and the 21 is a 3. So deep, it feels like deep spiritual transformation and change, while also being able to take this change that we feel internally and bring it externally to the connections that are closest to us with the number 6 here, and sharing, co-creating with spirit in order to create this deep change, in order to trigger this transformation. Does it actually feel like a trigger? And is what I'm hearing. And I don't think so. I don't think this is something that is necessarily, because you know how some transformations are hard. Some things that a lot of things, it's life, right? Those things are hard for us to allow, accept, and to, take on in our lives. But some changes, we can see them face value for what they are, necessary, We can sometimes take a glimpse into the future and feel the promise of expansion as well in participating in this cleansing and this transmutation, and really getting to the internal depths of you as well. I'm going to look and see what else your ancestors are trying to show you in this reading. And then I'm going to look at the astrological energy that is affecting you at this time. So we have, show me what to say yes to. I really like that. I really like that. I really like that. We're going to get into that. We also have Leo, which is going to be affecting you at this time. So you could have a lot of Leo in your natal chart, or you could have someone who is a Leo or has Leo energy affecting you in your life right now as well. Or your ancestor could have been a Leo. Just throwing that out there as well. But we have self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. So you have a lot going on within you creatively. Can't talk. You have a lot going on, and there's more things I think within you that should be called to say yes to. And I say within you because this does not feel very externally focused for you, pile number one. I feel like this is something that you're going to be, like, the things that you say yes to are going to be very intuitive. You're going to just know that it's in your best interest at that time to take that course or participate in that conversation or respond to that email, text, whatever. Like, you're going to know when it's best to interact with others, but you're also going to know when it's best to self-reflect, dive deep, when to pull that journal out. If you hear it and you're like, oh no, my journal's not actually right next to me right now, or it's across the room, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to, because it's important to me, only because it's important to me, am I going to get up and actually go and get that journal? Or am I going to pull my phone out and open my notes and jot down what it is that I'm feeling right now? Because I feel like feelings are so fleeting. They're almost as fleeting as thoughts. We can have a thought and, 3 years later, a year later, even, it's not, we don't remember thinking that thought, but it absolutely impacted us at that time. So what to say yes to, digging deep is what I keep hearing. Digging deep internally, emotionally, treading the waters. What to say yes to, possible, connections where you're able to express your vulnerability a bit more and communicate in a different way with others in this expansion. Because I feel like it's like an expansion of feelings, but it's also an expansion of ideas, of creativity, of luck. This is a time where Jupiter is absolutely, it's in your life. It's here to bring you something or bring you to something, because, you notice that this person, they are on the path. Jupiter is not pushing them to walk forward. This is something that they are naturally doing. So you are being led divinely by the cosmos, by the universe, your ancestors, everything that is here working in the highest good for all. You are a part of that. You are participating in that energy and being led to a lot. I'm also hearing trust. Trust yourself with the self-confidence here. Trust in the divine direction that you're headed. Also finding things worth being loyal to is what I'm hearing with the loyalty. It's like, I'm committed to this. I am committed to the existence of this, or making this, appear. Because the alchemist is also like somewhat tied to the magician, where you are a manifester, a master manifester. So being very loyal to something that you would like to manifest, and then being able to express your creativity through it is also what I'm hearing. But absolutely say yes to your creativity, moments of expression. If you want to draw, writing, making music, whatever it is, what to say yes to is those creative aspects that make your heart flutter, that make you excited, that, you know, will absolutely introduce a good, healthy change into your life is also what I'm feeling like. Not being afraid of change, death, and transformation, because Scorpio rules the death and rebirth, like Pluto rules death and rebirth. So not being afraid of that alchemical process. Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure I touched into all of that I could before getting into the tarot. So we have introspection with the Prince or the Page of Cups. Introspection, which I'm not surprised that this is coming out for you when we are so in tune with our heart space. We also have Two of Cups, union. So I just want to point it out, you could absolutely be a water sign, a heavy focus on the Scorpio, and I may even know exactly whose pile this is, but anywho, Two of Cups, Page of Cups, we have the Scorpio up here, heavy water sign influence. We also have Sagittarius energy with Jupiter and Leo energy here. I want to make sure that was it. Okay, but yeah, Two of Cups. We have Four of Wands, celebration. Wow, this is absolutely gorgeous. What else? Oh, Two of Swords, decisions. Okay. And we're going to see Princess of Swords, curiosity. So Page of Swords. Okay, so let's get into it. We have two pages here, which means that we are absolutely in a learning stage right now. This may not be the most comfortable for you, I feel like, especially when there's two of them and it's the mind and the heart, which, how ironic, with beyond the mind, the heart beats. We're learning how to silence the mind, how to move beyond it, move beyond, what is the word? Integrated thoughts that have, you know, really accumulated over the process of us growing up, being adults, experiencing life. We are absolutely curious about how to let the mind take a back seat. We're curious on how we can make more confident decisions is also what I'm feeling like. But with the Page of Cups, you are doing a lot of introspection. This is a lot of shadow work is also what I'm hearing. And it does not seem as if you're doing this alone. The Two of Cups can be unions of any kind. So with friendships, lover is also a possibility. And even close family members who you trust to guide, well, not to guide you, but to hold your hand, to walk this path with you, to be vulnerable with. Those are the kind of connections that you have here supporting you. And even if you don't feel as if this is current day, I feel like this is something that is being introduced even more thoroughly, even more intensely along your path as you continue to walk forward. I feel as if, you know, it could be as simple as, and I'm literally seeing it, you know, literally, it's a literal clairvoyant message that I'm receiving here, where you could be sitting in a public space and decide, this is so peaceful, I'm going to sit and meditate here. And somehow someone, you know, sees this, they see you meditating, and this is something that also interests them. It could be just that random, I say, even though that's not the word of choice. It could be just that aligned, I should say, where you can find these kind of connections. But this also does feel like, you know, it's the possibility of the people in your life current day, or the connections. And it also feels like coming into harmony with yourself. Like this is the mind and the heart coming into union, coming into harmony. Your mind is done fighting the decisions that must be made for the sake of your heart. And the Four of Wands, you absolutely feel a need to celebrate. You are very happy with the progress that you are making. I feel as if not right now, but very soon, you are going to be gaining some kind of clarity. I feel like emotional clarity is very much present here for you. And it's something to be very happy about, feel very settled and content with. Some of you, I see the Four of Wands, so either moving or upgrading your home in some way, being able to decorate and share in space with another is also what I'm feeling like, especially with the Two of Cups next to the Four of Wands. This feels like partnership and building a home together, celebrating the rise of your family and your home together is also what this feels like, an expansion of love and harmony, because these cards are touching and they're interacting with each other, absolutely. But again, the focus is not external. This is just the supporting energy that you have, is someone coming in to support you, to affirm you, especially, this is a message from your ancestors, and they want you to know that you are not alone, that you are divinely supported, that your home is protected, and that you can feel at ease, knowing that things are changing as well. Something is also changing with this expansion. I'm almost kind of curious to pull more tarot, but let's keep seeing what I can see. With the Page of Swords, a lot of journaling may help you to uncover old habits and thoughts that you have about yourself and your process. I feel as if the decision that you are making, again, has a lot to do with putting your mind in the back seat, maybe letting your heart have a go at creative control, in regards, and not even like completely isolating out logic, but finding the balance in between the two. You have two twos on the board. You have 2 pages and two cups, 2 minor arcanas. So that really screams to me like balance. We're balancing the emotional, the mental. We are making decisions from a heart-centered space, feeling confident because we are supported. And your ancestors want you to know that you are changing. There are things that are actually changing around you. You're not making choices for no reason. You're not being put in the position to make choices for no reason. It is guiding you to exactly where it is that you have always wanted to be, and a little more confidence to know that you're stepping in the right direction would absolutely not hurt at this time, I'm sure, which is why we have the affirmation portion that I wanted to so heavily bring to you, is because your ancestors absolutely wanted to affirm you in this process. Pile number 1, I want to make sure that I've looked deeply into the tarot, and this is as deep as it is really getting for me. I feel as if that is specifically because there are certain depths that only you can go to in this healing work, and I'm supposed to be opening the door for that to happen. Even more for you, the things that you're supposed to say yes to, just me making that aware that you're going to be making a choice here, accepting something, saying yes to something. It could be a project that helps to heal the inner child for you. It doesn't even have to be in that aspect. It will show up absolutely different for everyone. But I'm here to affirm you are in the right direction. You are heading in the right place. The things that are occurring within and around you are divine happenings, and you're not crazy. Is also what I'm hearing. So your first affirmation is happiness is my birthright. That's period. Happiness is your birthright. Pile number 1. Absolutely nothing can take that away. No one can take that away. You cannot throw it away. It is always going to be here and present for you to accept, to celebrate, and embrace. Your ancestors want you to know that if you feel happiness right now, you are in a good spot. You're in a very good spot. There's nothing that could absolutely take you away from this except yourself, except your own mind. So to move beyond that, what the mind thinks, and to claim what your heart already feels is your birthright. And we also have, I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. you do whatever it takes. So saying yes to something that may feel silly or immature, even quite possibly with the pages here, just let your curiosity lead you. Don't be so caught up on, well, is this the right thing to do? Will it lead me to the right places to be? That's not something that you should be worried about. You're already on the journey. And that's the only thing that you need to really focus on, is being on the journey, living in your creativity and your curiosity, making decisions from a very discerning and decisive place. We also have, when I introduce joy into a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. Yes, you are choosing to introduce joy into every situation. That is the decision. That is the choice. I feel as if you are not necessarily a pessimistic. I don't want to give you that title. But sometimes you don't have time to introduce joy into something because you're so focused on it working out. But you can relax the reins a little bit. You can, when you relax, the vibrational frequency around you relaxes, okay? So if you're manifesting out of fear, angst, or like everything has to be perfect, everything has to be this and that, then it's going to be so tight that your manifestations come in like morphed and completely different than as you would have if you just would have released the feelings that do not align with joy and happiness. We also have, when I connect to the spiritual realm, I open the door to receive divine guidance, clear direction, and great wisdom. We absolutely spoke about this here in the expansion card, being directed by your spirit guides, by your ancestors, connecting spiritually. You are, again, heavily spiritually connected with the Pluto and Jupiter here gracing our divine presence. You are walking through that open door. You are listening to the clear direction that Spirit is sending you in, whether it makes sense or not, whether you can see it clearly or not. You're trusting Spirit a little bit more, I feel like, in this. And I feel like also your ancestors want me to communicate this to you, is to not be afraid to talk to them. Don't feel as if it only has to be a certain time where you can talk to them. You can talk to them at any time and they are there. They are right there with you. So really trusting in your connection to the spirit realm, walking through these open portals and doors that are waiting for you. You have a lot of crescent moons here. I'm also noticing a lot of crescent moons. So, right now, as I'm recording this video, the moon is about to go full moon in Aries on the 20th. And I feel as if the next new moon, which ironically enough, because I absolutely feel like I know whose pile this is now, the new moon is going to be in Scorpio, November 4th. So this may be a very, important time for you to look at the transitions that have happened between this full moon and the new moon of November 4th, if you're watching it at this time, or whatever the next new moon is for you, and to look at the seeds that have been sown, that are, being sown, being placed. What conditions are they in? What are you trying to grow, and what condition is your mindset in around it as you're trying to grow it? That was a very specific message for someone. But yes, you are absolutely being divinely guided at this time. And I just wanted to have one final affirmation card for you from your ancestors, just to close this reading out and to bring yet more affirmation and comfort to you. So we have, you are a part of the universe. The earth is your sister, the moon is your mother, the sun is your brother. You are the star they gave life to, exploding on the scene, there one moment, off the next. The impact left. Try to imagine those who have seen your glow. It's universal. So, wow, what a powerful message for such a powerful pile, number one. Your glow, it's beyond what you can even imagine at this point. I feel as if you're still, another crescent moon. You are still so far in your head, dear one. But your ancestors want you to know that that doesn't stop your glow. Nothing is stopping your glow right now. Even when you feel like things are not aligned as it should be, as aligned, because things can still be very magical for you at this time, but you just want it a little bit more. And Spirit is saying this is more. And the more that you realize that, the more will grow. I hope that made sense for you, pile number one. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And I will see you in another reading. Peace. Hello, pile number two. You chose this beautiful smoky quartz cluster. And I am just going to set it to the side over here for you to continue to connect with its energy if you can see it. And I'm going to get started right into your reading and read the overall theme from the short passage that your ancestors wants to send to you. And you have diving for light. Wow. So I feel as if this has a lot to do with your purpose, your divine purpose. But I'm going to, because especially we have the master number 11 here. So you could be absolutely a divine teacher, a leader, spiritual practitioner of some different kinds of sorts, an oracle card reader or a tarot reader, just wanting to point that out for you. But let's see what messages your ancestors have. How brave you are. Yes, I feel that. You are diving for light. It can be so much simpler to seek light in the heavenly, in that which is blissful, sweet, loving, and kind. To look for the light in that which is dark is an advanced task that only a rebellious and brave heart will attempt. You may not feel that you have taken such a journey by choice, yet you have taken this wise challenge on from deep within your soul. Your innermost being has evoked this situation in your life with the intention that you grow in power, wisdom, and creative juice. It also wants you to experience a bold and fearless trust in life and become further empowered to live it with zest and courage. The Oracle of Diving for Light speaks of a time when you are called into darkness through life circumstances, situations, relationship challenges, or inner struggles that defy clear understanding. That darkness might be a creative block, a sense of being in a void, or feelings of depression, rage, sadness, fear, or anxiety. There may or may not be an obvious cause. The darkness might be generally accepted and socially acknowledged because there is a socially acceptable or obvious reason for it, such as death, divorce, or retrenchment. However, there may be no obvious justification for your experience of darkness. You might not need a reason to be able to accept it. Likewise, you may struggle to find an unconditional acceptance of your experience. Just know that you are actually on track and right where you need to be. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. We're just going to get into it really intuitively. What this is telling me, what the passage has told me, is that you have gone through something. Whether it's current day or not will be different for everyone. I feel as if it's not. I feel as if it's, current, then it just recently passed. Where you have experienced something dark, not of the light. Many people would have questioned you as to, why are you dealing with this? Why are you facing this head on? Why are you willing to experience these not idealistic, these so emotions and feelings and things like that? Like, you don't have to actually put up with that. But you choose to, be in the darkness or dive for light in the darkness. And it's like, yes, this is a part of my divine purpose. it's pretty simple, I feel like, to you. The way that this person is staring directly into the card, full of power, full of knowing, it also feels like, because they have seen the dark. They have been and experienced the dark. And so to say that you are a light worker is an understatement, I feel like. I feel like your purpose is to just to relay the message that yes, there is darkness. Dark things happen. They do exist. But darkness does not exist without light. Like these two go hand in hand. So you are sharing this word. I feel like this message by doing your own shadow work, by just living and experiencing things, and being able to say, oh, I've overcome this. I've come through this. This is what this is. So let's look at the Cosmos Oracle and see what other messages your ancestors have for you. Wow. Compassion, loving kindness, tenderness, tolerance. And so I was literally just reading about this card, and this is absolutely what we were just talking about, how you are going through a lot, and it is a lot to talk about. It is a lot to say that you have experienced, and you must feed yourself a level of compassion. There's something that only you can feed yourself, healing that you can only give yourself. You are a divine healer, and others may come to you for healing, but it starts with you. So this card, when I read the book, it was talking about feeding yourself loving kindness and tenderness and tolerance, being tolerant of yourself. How tolerant are you of yourself? Are you patient? Do you speak kindly to yourself? Do you hold yourself as tenderly as you would hold another, a lover, someone you care for deeply? And these are difficult questions, because sometimes the answer is no, not necessarily. I'm still working on this. I'm still trying. I'm still learning about what this means. What does it mean to be nice to myself? What does it mean to be soft and gentle? And what does that look like in my life with a real life example? And the only way we know is to go through it, is to practice it. So maybe journaling makes you feel good about yourself, and that when you release your thoughts, when you release the things that are held up within your mind, then you are able to let more kinder thoughts and be more compassionate towards self in the mental space, but also in the heart space too. So if you release, things that have pained you in the past, things that you have believed about yourself in the past, then you're able to introduce new energy in. So definitely this feels like an internal focus for you at this current moment, but it is to help guide others. You also have the Builder, discipline, practicality, achievement, with the Capricorn here in the corner. So you could be a Capricorn or have this somewhere in your chart, or this could be the energy of your ancestors as well. Your ancestor could have been a Capricorn. But the Builder. So you are absolutely the compassionate builder. You are someone who may be a bit nitpicky, may be very, specific on the way that you like things done, the way that you like things to appear, to be. The structure of things is also maybe important to you. But you're also very practical in knowing that sometimes you just have to be gentle with things. Like, you cannot force. It has to flow. So being aware of yourself in that manner and being able to achieve what it is that you really want to accomplish from a compassionate place, from a place where you don't end up burnt out, overworked and tired, exhausted, because you have had such high expectations of the things that you are creating and building. This is also, I feel like, a part of your shadow work is to just be very gentle with yourself in the creative process. I feel like heavily This is something that is coming up for you and maybe coming up for you a lot. Being tolerant of yourself in that space, because you cannot create from a stressful place. You cannot create from a place of lack. You must feel whole. So feeding yourself the things that make you feel whole, doing the things that make you feel complete, that make you feel energized, in order to come back out into the world and share this with others. Again, this is a strong message that your ancestors are sending you of feeding yourself first. So I am going to look at what else your ancestors want to show us. And I'm also going to look at the astrological energies that may be impacting you at this time. So we have, show me the career impact. Wow. Okay. Feels very aligned for you. We're going to get into it. And we have Mars, move forward and defend self. I like that for you. Just because we have the compassion doesn't mean that we don't have Martian energy, okay? Let's dig. The career impact, you cannot give from a place of lack, like we mentioned. And when we talk about our career, we don't talk about how much energy we have to give to something. When we talk about, let's be honest, when we talk about jobs and working in society, there is heavy leaning towards burnout culture. We have not yet, as a society, figured out the healthy way to work, where, the community is not left ragged and running towards the weekend like it is the savior. So when you are diving deep into the shadow of yourself that really wants to give it all, I feel like you could work all day, is what this feels like. I feel like you're going to just be moving in a different way. Like your work habits in the past has not led to a healthy, work environment for you. Whether you work in an office, whether you work at home, whether you don't work anymore at all, it doesn't really matter. It's the way that you do things, giving your all to something rather than splitting it and balancing it between what you need and what you want to do. So the career impact is heavy here for you because this is going to shift. This is something that is shifting right now based on the shifts that you make internally, the energy that you bring into yourself. I do want to point out, again, we have the 11 here and another 11 here. I'm just noticing that. Heavy master numbers, heavy spiritual communication. You may absolutely not have heard this message the first time, where you have to build slower. That is what I'm feeling like. You have to build slower. And that may not be the most comfortable thing that you want to hear, because maybe you need money and you need it now. Or maybe you're just not the most comfortable financially or materially, and you want to start seeing things as you start doing things. But there is a process, I feel like, that is unfolding for you, where you are coming back to your center in the midst of your career. And that will be reflected as you continue to feed yourself. This is, again, not something that's happening overnight for you, even though you have such passionate action with the Mars here. So you want to move forward. You want to be of service. You want to give and give. You want to be in the action. And the Mars energy here is not signaling anything other than that. Like, this is not a message of stop or slow, slow down is basically what it is. Because the builder here, even though this is Capricorn energy, my Mars is in Taurus. So this feels like very Mars in Taurus, or even Mars in Capricorn type of energy, even though they will reflect differently. So this could also be placements for you as well, but to just move more methodically, more slowly, to be compassionate with yourself as you do, because this may not be something that you like, but this is something that you need. Again, focusing on the needs rather than the wants. so that you can better fulfill your destiny is also what I'm feeling like. This is not for nothing. It's not to torture you and maybe your lack of patience. It is to build something thoroughly, to do something and then to do it well. So even if you are a light worker, not to compare your talents to another, but just to recognize and acknowledge that you dive deeply for things, and you do this because you take your time to do so, because you know that it is important, because you have done it for yourself. It is a whole process, a whole cycle. I feel like that you're coming into realization about your purpose and about the way that you move, how you move, like the movements that you make based on the state in which you are feeling spiritually and emotionally as well. Again, we also have the number 7 here, which is the spiritual number. You are a spiritually aligned divine being. And I'm going to get into the tarot just to look at your situation even more specifically for you, pile number 2. We have the 8 of Swords, isolation. So there are things that absolutely must be moved away from. Like, you are holding yourself back, it feels like, but we're going to look at why. The Hierophant. Wow. You don't trust the gifts that have been given to you. I feel as if, there is a whole world waiting for you. Spiritually, and I felt it too. I felt this spiritually divine being in my presence, and your ancestors are heavily communicating this to me. And then the Hierophant comes out. So we also have the Empress, which I saw this card while I was shuffling. The 9 of Pentacles, culmination, it says there. And I'm going to do this final one. 9 of Swords, fear. And I felt that for you. First of all, let's just mention how I've never seen this card in this deck. Or maybe once I've seen it. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of fear here. And it's of yourself, of your capabilities, of you being right. It feels like you're a heavy intuitive. And, no matter how many times you have been proven right, you are afraid to step out of these boundaries that you hold in regards to your mind in order to further prove the type of spiritual connection that you hold. The Empress is here just highlighting the compassion card so strongly. Everything that you do should nurture you first. It should be of nurturing for you. Everything that you do should feed you, should supply you with the energy to continue on, to keep moving, to continue sharing divine messages as the Hierophant would. And this is absolutely showing up as your energy. We were talking about spiritual teacher. Again, I'm just not surprised at all. And I don't feel like you are either. The career impact is, you have 2 9s here. It is heavily surrounded by fear. So you are surrounded by your 8 of Swords, and your career is surrounded by the 9 of Swords. And this is signaling that you are stepping out of this energy. You are embracing yourself more. This just feels so aligned and so straight to the point. Like, I'm almost feeling as if I'm missing something, but I feel as if I'm also not. So I'm going to just keep going with that. The 9 of Pentacles is affirming that your fear is for nothing. Not for nothing. Your fear is here to teach you something about the trauma that you have financially around your career in general. How you have isolated yourself from being hurt or from suffering from a loss in any kind of way financially. You feel as if you are safe where you are, and yet all I can see is boundaries. If I can be very honest with you, and this is your ancestors speaking through me, pile number 2, to let me know that, to let you know that there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. Your career has the absolute potential to thrive with this 9 of Pentacles here. You are successful. Even if you don't feel that way, you absolutely are. You will continue to, use this gift of yours in a divine way, not in a manipulative way, not in a financially kind of like greed kind of way. This is something very divine, very meant to be in order to share your message of compassion with others. This is the way that you even defend yourself compassionately. You recognize that, people aren't a threat. They are just living their own forms of life, their own cycles that they're going through that they may not have language for, so they react to others. But you're not a reactor. It doesn't feel like it. Feels like you have been the thing that has really gotten you caught up is your mind. It's not what other people say to you necessarily, although that can sometimes get to you, and that's something that may need to be nurtured as well within the Empress. It's your own thoughts about yourself, your own beliefs about yourself and what you can do. So your career is heavily being impacted by this. I feel as if your faith is growing. Like the Eight of Swords is here to say that you are breaking free from this. Like you're tired of holding yourself back. You want to be a part of the game. Like you want to feed yourself. You want to feel good. You don't want to walk around continuously feeling bad. And you want to build. You want to be a part of community. You want to build something of substance. You want to be a part of something. And that's absolutely happening for you, pile number 2. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to do what you're doing. Even though you don't have sight of this Nine of Pentacles right now, maybe. Because there's still that fear there. I feel as if maybe the fear would still be here if you had the Nine of Pentacles. But because the Nine of Pentacles isn't here, the Nine of Swords came out first. It's like we're overcoming something first in order to receive, in order to move away, in order to embrace, in order to heal. And it's just straight like that. I don't feel as if I'm missing anything else within this story. Spiritual studying. You may be studying a lot. Gaining new knowledge. Sharing new knowledge. Also with other people, your career is heavily tied to your spirituality. So your spiritual practice is important. Continuously clearing out, diving in your shadow, finding the light, and then bringing it back. This is the darkness. This is the light. Okay? Even the Nine of Pentacles, it's very much so of the light attributes, but what is standing in the way is your guard. Your guard. And I want to even look at this more even literally. So this is where you are right now. It may not feel like nightmares. It may not keep you up at night, but it is a subconscious fear. It is there, something that you need to take a look at and be very conscious of. Be very conscious of your thoughts, because your Nine of Pentacles, your career, your wealth, your prosperity is tied to you clearing this out, acknowledging and clearing this fear out. That way you can face how you have self-isolated for a while now. Whether you have felt like you've been out there or not, there has always been this like blockage, this just straight up blockage from what you're really trying to uncover here. Your relationship with spirit, your ancestors want you to know, is growing. It is developing in a new way. You may have heightened abilities coming for you with the Hierophant here, even in the Empress. But you first have to, clear the clutter so that these messages, divine messages, can come through you. So your spirit, your ancestors, heavily wanted to send you affirmations. This last portion of the reading is solely focused on that, and they really, really wanted to affirm you. So we have, oneness is my true nature. I'm absolutely not surprised that this came out. I've never seen this card before. That I am certain of. Oneness is my true nature. Absolutely. You are a divine spiritual being. We also have hope is the conduit for miracles. Hope is the conduit for miracles. So let's just start with these two because they just feel so big to me. Oneness is your true nature. Pile number 2, you are one with the universe. Spirit is you. You are spirit. That is how close that you are to this. That is how connected that you are to this. There's no need to doubt. It's like breathing for you, and you wouldn't question if you're breathing or not. So why do you question your connectedness to spirit? Hope is the conduit for miracles. If you do not believe that you can clear this clutter out, if you do not believe that you can release this fear, then where is your faith? What does your faith lie in? How does it exist? Okay. If you are a spiritual communicator, teacher, in any kind of way, if you send and receive messages, do you doubt those messages when they continuously prove you to be right? So it's time for a different mindset, one that is strengthened by faith and hope. One that is strengthened by, your connectedness to spirit. It is time to adapt this new mindset. And I feel like this is not something that you're fighting any longer. This is absolutely a message of confirmation for you, I feel like. And I feel like you are hearing it through and through. You are very, awake. You are very awake to awakened to the things that are trying to take place in your life. So it's just about an allowing at this stage, allowing this hope to wash over you and to make you feel differently. I feel as if it will also be just as simple as you turning around one day and noticing, I don't have that nagging fear or thought anymore. It has either completely gone away or has transitioned into something new that I can work with and work on. Like, this is something, I feel great. This is something different. I kept feeding myself the compassion that Monty's child told me to. And, I feel different. We also have, wow. I don't even know what to say. Like, I wasn't looking at this. I haven't looked at any of these. So feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. Let me repeat that as I unhook my bracelet. Sorry. Feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. And that is a direct message from your ancestors letting you know that this is the only thing you need to be focused on right now is feeling good. The prosperity will come. Pile number 2. This is something, again, I also need to tell myself every now and again. The prosperity will come. Just continue to do what feels good to you. Continue to build in that hope and your connection. Continue to, read. I mean, even if that's like the best kind of distraction for you, read spiritually aligned things, read things that uplift your thoughts, that bring you out of the darkness, because you are so good at diving into it. So lift yourself up and out. Let these good feelings stay with you. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid that you are losing focus on the path. If you are not focused on the path, just let yourself be guided by spirit, and you won't even recognize the places that you end up because it's been so divine. I can do less and attract more. I can do less and attract more. This is literally what I was just talking about. This was literally what I was just talking about. So, I mean, there it is. Your ancestors absolutely wanted you to hear that message that you do not have to do anything. If anything, you don't even have to do anything with the fear or the thoughts or the, isolating habits. It will happen naturally. As long as you recognize it, it will happen naturally. A lot of heart chakra, crown chakra, third eye, and solar plexus, even some roots. All of your chakras, though, are absolutely important for you to focus on, to clear and align whenever need be. Yeah, some of you could even be Reiki masters in that aspect too. So don't be afraid to give some Reiki if you're giving Reiki, right? That's like a therapist going to therapy. The therapist has to talk to someone. They have to release all that they are holding on to. So that could also be a part of your career impact as well. It will be different for everyone. But what your ancestors absolutely want you to know is that you don't have to do a thing, that you are attracting what is divinely meant for you in this Nine of Pentacles, that your hope and your faith will help you to, and the feeling good will help you to release what it is that is no longer serving you in your mind and in your heart and in your health and in your, self-care practices as well, the Empress here. You can do less and you can absolutely attract more. And so I have one final card of affirmation for you. We have, you are rising and growing in ways you don't even know. Trust in yourself and the direction you are going. Wow. Your ancestors really love you. They really want you to know that you are divine and they're very connected to you. You're very important to them and they want you to know how much you are growing. They need you to know that you're headed in the right direction. Just trust them. Trust in yourself. Trust that you know that you would not do anything to harm yourself, that you would not do anything to lead yourself in the wrong direction. When you hear the first instinct of a yes or a no in regards to anything, go with that yes, because you know exactly what it is that you need at all times. Continue to meditate, continue to ground yourself in your spiritual practices and to protect yourself energetically, and all things will grow around you in divine order. Pile number 2. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you in another reading. Peace. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading and messages from your ancestors. This is the beautiful crystal that you felt called and connected to, which I can still never remember the name of this one, but I am just going to put it off here to the side and we're going to get right into your reading. So I'm going to start with, of course, the overall message, the overall theme of the message that your ancestors are trying to send you and what it is that is something that you may need to hear today. So we have After the Storm. Very interesting because I did a personal reading for someone and this one came out for them. So this could be their pile. But I don't actually even feel as if I need to read the book for this one since I actually just did. And to me, this card insinuates that your ancestors are very aware of a current situation that you are either in right now or are coming out of, because we do have After the Storm here. And the storm could be any situation for you. Everyone's will be different, of course. Pile number 3. But this storm is significant to you because I feel as if your ancestors want you to know that they witness it, that they are witnessing you in this process, in this path. I feel as if this may be very important to you because you may have, in the recent past, I'm going to say, in the recent past, have felt like you have been going through this, have been moving through this storm by yourself with very little clarity, with very little knowledge as to how to move next, what to do next, when will the storm end, all different types of aspects. And your ancestors want you to know that they have been with you this entire time. They have witnessed your struggles and your triumphs within this situation. And they know that there are some lessons here for you to glean from this storm. Like there's something here in order for you to take away. Now, this is a difficult message for some because, like I said, everyone's storm is different. Some storms have very fierce, intense emotions and things that fly around within it. And so, of course, me saying that there is a lesson within it may not make much sense to you, or may not hold much value to you, because it's tough, it's hard, and I am not disclaiming that or taking that away from you whatsoever. Pile number 3, storms are difficult. But with the owl here represented in the depiction, it's like there is something, some level of either subconscious, like emotional knowledge that you have gained from a situation. And it, even if it's not recognizable to you right now, even if you feel like you only have just a piece of the puzzle, there is something here that is growing. The storm has cleared away the unnecessary, the stagnant, the things that are holding you back. And there are new pieces of the puzzle that are being introduced slowly. Of course, I'm sure you want to know all of the picture as soon as you can, because you're tired of this storm, you're tired of being in the unknown, you're tired of things feeling unclear, quite possibly. But this is the kind of knowledge that sticks with you for the rest of your life. Like, you have had the time to learn something, integrate something into your energetic field, and adapt it as a habit, a new mindset, or something like that. So this is absolutely very important energy for us to recognize that you're in right now. This does feel more current day rather than just, a cycle closing out, but it could absolutely be a cycle closing out for you as well. Pile number 3. I'm going to look even more into the oracle and see what messages your ancestors really wanted you to have. This is the Cosmos Oracle. We have the Peacekeeper. Wow. Yeah, so I feel like I said it before as well, but I feel like I know whose pile this is. So we have the Peacekeeper here with the Libra energy. We have equilibrium, objectivity, and cooperation. And we also have structure with the number 25. Ooh, and all of the fixed signs. Anywho, structure, foundation, routine, and commitment is highlighted here for you. So you could be a Scorpio, and I'm recording this at the time of, that we're transitioning out of Libra season and into Scorpio. So happy birthday, Scorpio. There's also Aquarius energy here, Taurus, and Leo. So these could be one of, and also Libra as well here. So happy birthday, Libra too. This could be one of yours. So right now, your ancestors are wanting you to focus on the new structure that is actually coming in, because, this storm really did clear it out. It really did. It cleared it out, and it left a nice big open space just for you. Of course, just for you to figure out what is my new foundation? Where do my roots belong now? What can I commit to now that this has been cleared out of my way? Now that, either you've accomplished something and, that set off a whole new storm or transition in your life, or you are just shifting your perspective, shifting your commitment from one thing that needed to be totally restructured to something that you were building from the ground up. With the Peacekeeper here, I feel as if what is needed equilibrially is within you. What the balance that is needed is within, more so than, because you can't control the storm, right? You can't control what happens outside of you. You can only control what you focus on and yourself. So if you choose to focus on something new, something positive that you can give your energy to and feed in a more positive way than the last time when you began something, and you continue to keep this balance so that you can feed this structure, this new structure, positivity, this is a different situation. This is a new situation. So a lot of you could be facing some new beginnings in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be in career. It could be creative aspects for you as well. Like adding more creative habits or routines in your life, your day-to-day routines, your work routines, your spiritual routine, however that shows up for you. What is most important is the balance within. You may, with the Libra energy coming out here, you may have a lot of different connections or relationships that like really ask for your attention, not demand. I don't want to say demand your attention, because they cannot demand something that we are not willing to give, right? So, there's a lot of things around us that are seeking your attention, and Spirit really just wants you to be aware. I'm just now noticing that this person is holding a yin and a yang feather in their hands, really like highlighting the balance and the harmony that you are seeking. This also feels like balancing some light and dark attributes of yourself as well. So maybe, when you get overwhelmed by the things that happen externally, you tend to go off just a little bit. And it's like, okay, so how can I balance myself internally so that when those things do, because things do, they just appear, they happen out of our control, and we are meant to go with the flow of things even more normally than we possibly are used to. So how can we integrate like even further, even deeper, the light and dark attributes of ourselves? How can we look at things objectively and say, okay, so what about this situation can I control in the moment? Well, if I can't control that, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look into this and see how I can approach this situation in this way, instead of, oh my God, shit's flying everywhere and I don't know what to do. It's feeling like, just being very cooperative with the energy around you, knowing that you cannot change anything but yourself and how you react to the things that are going on around you. That is where your power is. That is where it lies. You are being introduced to this. Your ancestors are proud of you for this, because maybe this is something that is a struggle within your ancestral line where, the people in your family, they get overwhelmed very easily, or they suffer from anxiety very easily due to external situations. And it's like, well, this is something that I want to focus on, healing for myself. Like, I just want to be able to handle situations well, not perfectly, not, some inhuman expectation of myself. I just want to be able to handle situations well. I want to come up with different options for myself if something seems to be an obstacle rather than a structure helping me towards my goal. Like, I want to be more objective. I want to be more rational when it comes to myself emotionally, because sometimes I may feel a bit out of balance. Like, my emotional reactions don't necessarily feel fit to what it is that I'm reacting to also. So it's different for everyone. But I want to look even further into the oracle to see what your ancestors are trying to show me within this reading, and then look at the astrological energy that is affecting you at this time. So we have, show me where wisdom is found. You guys, the owl here, the big significator that we are seeking wisdom. Like, we're just not looking at situations the same anymore, and that's absolutely spectacular. Your ancestors are literally applauding you because you are seeking more wisdom from situations. Like, you're not the fixed symbols that show up to me in this structure. It's like, we are not here for the surface level. So if it's Leo's going big, or they're going home. Like, it has to be grand. It has to be, even on the Taurian level, luxurious. It has to be spectacular. Scorpio, you already know they're doing their absolute best. They're showing up as their best. You are not going to catch a Scorpio And when I say look in any kind of way, it's like look in any kind of way that is not aligned to who they are. All of these signs, even the Aquarian sign, being very unique and sticking to that and staying to that and saying, this is my identity, this is how I identify, and that's either it's going to change or it's not. Like, so being very fixed in the idea that you can find wisdom anywhere. Anything, any experience, any lesson can teach you anything. And only if you're willing to go that deep. Only if you're willing to look that deeply into things and to be led in a more intuitive way. And we have Capricorn. Yes, we have all the signs coming out. Ambition, realism, and methodical steps. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, very Capricornic energy as well. I feel like a lot of this has to do with your stability, has to do with not just your career, but like how you make money materially. So ambition, really embracing that part of you. But also I feel as if this is like literally, you may not have Capricorn energy, but this is your energy. So you're ambitious yet realistic. Like you're not ambitious like Sagittarian ambitious and they book a flight and never been to the country before. They don't speak the language, but they already got that flight. That's not the Capricorn energy. So you are ambitious, but you are also very realistic. Like you absolutely take methodical steps. You take methodical steps to your goals. So you will begin to learn the language. You will look at the culture and look at the best places to vacation. Then you'll look and see what hotel deals and whatever kind of restaurant deals you can find. And then you book your flight. Honey, this is how it's going to go. And then when we get there, it's all amazing because I planned it this way. But when we have the storm here, it's like, oh my God, I did all this planning and there's a bleep. There's a hurricane or seasonal storm going on. And it's like, those are the things that are out of your control. But that shouldn't stop you from having a good time and enjoying where you got. So really just the central aspect to this is you and how you allow the storm to make you react. How are you going to, you spent the money already, baby. You're already overseas. So are you just going to try to do your absolute and safe best to enjoy the trip still? Or are you really going to let it get you down? Even the smallest of situations or to the largest of situations, that is where wisdom is found. That is where you're diving deep, is looking at every scenario, every situation that seems chaotic, that seems unsettled, and looking at it and saying, I feel like there's something I can learn from this. I feel like there's something that this is trying to tell me or teach me. Listen to it. Listen to it, because you absolutely, you know when there's a message being sent to you. I feel like there's a lot of intuition around you as well with the owl here. It's like, it's clear cognizance, clear knowing. You just know, So I'm going to look into the tarot to look even more specifically at your message from your ancestors. We have, wow. It's like, okay. Your ancestors are going off in my ear. You are a divine being. You are a high priestess or priest. It doesn't matter how you identify. You are one of the people who intentionally connects with their intuition, intentionally lets it guide you. So you may have even, you know about this storm, girl. You know about this storm. You don't have to, this is just your confirmation. I am here to affirm you and to confirm that your ancestors are here with you on this journey, that you are spiritually connected, listening to these messages, being guided through this storm, eyes, wide open, or you can walk with it closed. Like, you can walk this path closed with your eyes closed, because that's how much you trust your spirit guides. I really feel that. I really feel that. Wow, that first one. Four of Swords, baby. You need some rest. Yes, because what's the point of trying to fight the storm? King of Pentacles with the power here. Absolutely stepping in your power. Let's see what else we have before I open my mouth. We have Five of Swords, defeat. Yes, like we were saying, what is the point of fighting the storm? Especially if it's in the mind and it's nothing tangible that you're struggling for. And we have Four of Cups, meditation. These double up digits have been coming up a lot with the fours. So 2 4s here for you. But okay, so yeah, I wanted to point it out as well, the divine masculine and divine feminine here seated on their thrones. You could be in a divine situation, relationship type of energy here, where both of you hold high priestess, high priest power, intuitive power, and, you know, building together, building structure together. One may be more so financially towards the structuring, and the other may be more towards the spiritual, like the spiritual building up of the structure. Meanwhile, you're both coming together and doing these things together on a whole different level. That came through very strongly. Just wanted to also point that out and affirm that as well. And that was, I feel like, for those in a relationship. But even if you're not in a relationship here, I feel as if you yourself, you are doing absolutely just thriving in the material world. You are absolutely building. You are building towards what it is that brings you stability. The King of Pentacles can be very Capricorn, giving me very, you know, big Capricorn over here in the corner. So building towards your goals, being very ambitious, really just not giving up on the bag is what I'm feeling like, especially if it's something that brings you wisdom, especially if it's something that brings you joy and you enjoy doing it, and it kind of distracts you from the other things that are going on, even though things can't really distract you from it, which is why we're here today. But you have the Five of Swords and the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. So the minor arcana is really telling me that there's a situation going on in your mind that you just have to give up. Like, you have to give up the thought of work. It's what I'm hearing in this one. You have to give up the idea that you are spiritually just in the abyss. You're doing it yourself, and you just really would love some messages. You really would love some interaction. But Spirit is sending you signs. They would love for you to get some rest so that you're able to decipher them differently, is also what I'm feeling like. Because you have the wisdom. It is coming to you. The signs, they are coming to you, but I don't think that you are receiving them in the way that they are being sent. There's a wire crossed within the connection. So really being in a meditative state, even so much so that you may fall asleep, and just really allow your mind to be cleansed. I feel like even in the sleep state that this could be very cleansing for your mind, like a fresh restart, waking up from a nap, even if it's like 10, 15 minutes, if you could just sneak in a nap and wake up a little bit more refreshed with new thought, new idea, feeling less defeated in the mental space, giving your mind a break, okay? This storm is something you can't think your way out of. This is something that you're going to have to sit with, balance yourself in it, and become almost unshakable by the things that your mind thinks rather than what you actually believe is also what I'm hearing. Getting a hold of what your mind thinks, or what you really believe. Getting in touch with what you really believe. Because maybe for a long time, you believed that money was the answer. Like that was where you were going to feel the most safe and secure. And maybe you started making that money and then you're like, well, I still feel off. I still feel unsatisfied. And Spirit is saying there's a spiritual aspect that still needs to be reached. The High Priestess here is signaling to your capabilities, what you are capable of reaching, becoming, embodying. You are the King of Pentacles, I feel, already, right now. Even if finances are still building, this is absolutely your energy. But to say that there is a piece within your intuition that still feels unclear to you, it's absolutely coming up for me. Meditation will bring you deeper. Meditation will bring you deeper. It will allow you to reach higher within a higher frequency, if that is something that you're interested in. And even so much so, prophetic dreams with the High Priestess here and the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. Just very being able to tell that something is going to happen, occur based on maybe even the strangeness of your dreams, because it's just the 5 feels so cluttered, so discombobulated, so unclear. But with rest and meditation, it's more concise. You can see more clearly of the picture. So absolutely coming and deciphering messages that way may be something for you. Pile number 3. But so I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Your power, yes, your energy is so dynamic. So much so there's like a lot going on within my mind. So there could be a lot going on within your mind as you're listening to this reading. And Spirit your ancestors directly are asking me to tell you or ask you to, after this video, meditate just for maybe a minute, close your eyes and a few deep breaths. Don't focus on clearing your mind or anything like that. Whatever happens, happens. But just a few deep breaths to connect yourself to your body, to breathe in your body and to remind your body that it does need oxygen. Just a minute or two, and see how that helps your mind flow through the day. That will not necessarily clear thoughts. It will not stop thoughts, but it may smooth up the traffic a little bit. And if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. But yes, so this next portion is just a whole bunch of affirmations that your ancestors wanted me to give to you. They wanted to affirm you and your process and to let you know that I'm going to let the affirmations do what they do. I trust that my powerful intentions combined with my faith are enough to allow my vision to become my reality. And of course we have the realism over here. So absolutely, powerful intentions. That is the Capricornic energy. Even more so, it's like you are taking this power, you are putting intention into it with faith in the High Priestess and doing your meditative work to build your faith. It is enough. It is enough to flourish this vision, and you will, be reconvinced or convinced in a different way of what is and is not possible. I feel like there's a level of disbelief here in the 5 of Swords, and the 4 of Swords is saying just rest, just allow the storm to pass of doubt, of fear, of disbelief. And on the other side of it is your vision in the 3D, waiting for you to claim it as your reality. We have the universe powerfully, so much power, pile number 3. The universe powerfully responds the instant I realign with love. Like instantly, like instant noodles. The universe powerfully responds the instant I realign with love. So this is not to say you're out here acting all willy-nilly out of love and stuff. It's just when we are fearful, when we're doubtful, that is not the energy of love. Love is compassion, is kindness, is gentleness with ourselves, and faith. So that is something that is really absolutely being fixated on right now by your ancestors, is to continue to talk to your ancestors, continue to talk to your spirit guides. In order to build this faith, they will continue to communicate with you, either through tarot, through, just a random person on the street, if it needs to be. You will get that message. So continue to align yourself and to clear the fear, to wait out this storm with spirit holding your hand. Even if you have to imagine all of your beautiful ancestors, the ones that you do know and you don't, sitting around in a circle with the wind and the rain blowing around you and holding hands and knowing that you are not in this storm alone. If that is something that you have to envision, they say do it. They say do it, because that's literally where they are, is right by your side. We also have, when I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. Primary teacher, we have the owl and our knowledge. So we know that this is higher learning. We know that we are using a level of intuition that is necessary. It's also what I'm feeling like. It's very necessary. So much solar plexus here, also the throat chakra. And we have the roots and the sacral chakra here highlighted, and even a little bit of the crown chakra. But all of the chakras are absolutely important, as we know. You are accepting the love of spirit. I feel like we are just continuously gonna, realign, looking at ourselves from an astral projection, a higher vantage point in our third eye, in our mind's eye, watching ourselves walk this line. And if we find ourselves curving or swerving in another direction, just continuously realigning ourselves with the love of the universe. They are teaching us something, and I say us, the collective, me and you. They are teaching you something, and it's something that is, it's going to continue to guide you in the direction where you want to be. Pile number 3, they're not leading you onto some on again, off again path. This is meant for you wherever it is that you're headed next. You are going to be able to absolutely share these peacekeeping skills that you have, to show others how to wait through their storm and to sit through their storm with the help of their own ancestors. You don't have to be a spiritual teacher, but you definitely are a spiritual student, and you're here to learn how you can relay your message to other people through love, and through the experiences that you have already had. We also have, when I lean toward love, I am led. So much love. Your ancestors absolutely love you wholeheartedly. They are here for you. They are supporting you, guiding you, and leading you to your destiny of love. And it can be that simple. It really can be. I feel like, especially when we see the 4 of Cups, there is a level of just not being satisfied, not being completely fulfilled, even though we have the King of Pentacles here, even though we have the High Priestess here, knowing that we deserve more. We are, working towards, just the more is the feeling that we get from security, that we get from being able to share inner security with our family and our close loved ones, of being able to have a close loved one, a lover, if that is something that you're interested in, and to even be closer to our ancestors on the other side. Just because they are not here, just because we cannot physically see with our mind's eye them here, they are with us, guiding us, literally at all times. At all times. And you are fully supported in this journey, in this storm, is what they want me to also let you know. So I have one final affirmation card from your ancestor. We have, you cannot let others' jealousy, envy, or doubt stop you from walking your path. You were meant to walk with purpose. Forget everyone else. I mean, okay, because the 5 of Swords it can also talk about other people. I didn't read it as other people, but if this is your situation, pile number 3, and other people's jealousy and envy and confusion and doubt, their own doubt is getting in your way, or their doubt tries to feed your doubt, just walk away. Just walk away. Forget everyone else. This is you in spirit. This is you and your spiritual team doing the work that you know that you were sent here to do, you were meant here to do. Do not back down from your own power, but do not use your power to hurt others either. So really finding that beautiful balance as well, which I know may be a struggle, but it's not for you. Like, you will find a way to balance yourself so that you do not act out of balance, is also what I'm feeling like. Pile number 3. This was an absolutely amazing message. Your ancestors love you so much. They want you to know that they are so proud of you and they see you. They recognize you and all of the hard work that you are putting in. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this reading, pile number 3. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you in another reading. Peace. Hello, pile number 4. You chose the beautiful tumbled rose quartz. And it's actually really cold in my hand right now, which I don't think I ever really noticed that, but that is an ice cold rose quartz there. So I don't want to make any assumptions, but maybe your heart is feeling a little bit, I'm not in the mood, feeling a little bit closed off, feeling a little bit cold, but maybe we'll get into that in this reading. I'm going to look at the overall theme and the overall message that your ancestors are wanting to send you. And then I'm going to read the short passage from the book as well. So you have inspiration. Ooh, that's pretty. That doesn't feel like a cold or closed off heart to me. It actually feels like maybe this is something that's warming you up, maybe getting you very excited again about life. Is your inspiration being inspired by something? But I'm going to read this short passage and we're going to get into it. Oh yeah, okay. An idea has captured your attention or will do so very soon. It may be a grand vision or the vague sense of something that could be. You're being encouraged to accept the vision, the idea, or the inspiration as it is important to your creative and spiritual growth. Also, it is possible. The bee is bringing you healing medicine wisdom from nature to aid the message of the oracle of inspiration. The bee is a powerful spirit totem. Bees are able to fly with wings that are significantly small in proportion to their heavier bodies. They can do so because of the sheer speed with which their wings move. Your idea, even if it seems like a big, substantial plan that might be difficult to get off of the ground and up and running, can succeed. You will attract great helpers to you, and the earth will support the success of this project, idea, or vision because it is about helping the greater good, as well as your own growth and development. When the Earth Mother lends you nature wisdom to support your healing and growth, you know you have an exceptionally powerful ally to your cause. Let this bring you confidence. If you have also drawn the After the Storm card, which came out in another pile, consider this message amplified. Okay, so wow. You have something sitting with you right now, pile number 4. It's something beautiful, it's something divine, and it was sent to you by spirit in order for you to participate in, act out, or create. And Spirit is telling you that there is nothing too big for you. There is nothing too grand, no idea that is too extraordinary that you yourself cannot bring into this world. So they want you to know that. Your ancestors want you to know that they're here to support you. I hear them very loud and clear, ringing in my right ear. But they are here to support you in your more creative and inspirational endeavors. I'm going to look and see what the oracle is here to say for the message that your ancestor is trying to send you with the Cosmo Oracle. So you have awakening, unfolding, epiphany, release. And this is a new deck to me. So this is my first time seeing this one. And we have the symbol for Pluto up here in the corner by, right here, Pluto. So an absolute transformation is occurring for you right now. This is a very spiritual project. It feels like just an aha, like ooh, I could do this. It feels just that pure, that light and quick, of inspiration just hitting you like a lightning bolt. We also have power. Yes. Confidence, strength, vitality. Okay. Confidence, strength, vitality. Let's really get into it. You have a very powerful awakening coming for you. Pile number 4. I was gonna say 3. So, but you have a very powerful awakening coming for you, if not happening already. And this is something maybe you were prepared for, but it doesn't really feel like it. I feel like maybe you were just looking for a little bit of inspiration and you really tapped into like this transformational thought or idea. Like it feels very, I hear entrepreneurial, like it came to you maybe in a state where you weren't necessarily thinking about anything. You were just doing maybe daily activities, or maybe you were doing yoga, or maybe you were just meditating, and this just inspiration, this idea shot into your mind, It was like it was sent to you. And I feel that so strongly. I also want to point out, I was looking at the numbers here. We have the number 3 here and 39, which boils down to a 12, which boils down again to a 3. So heavy 3 energy, you could be seeing 333 around you a lot. But, and this is the message, that when you see those numbers, it is a message that you are onto something. I feel like a confirmation of something. But this is a really powerful message, and I feel as if I want to know more. I do. I'm going to look at what it is that your ancestors are trying to show me and to show you in this message, and the astrological energy that is influencing you right now. Yeah, I feel very powerful fire energy here, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and that as well within the inspiration. Okay. Show me the environment. Okay. Show me the environment, and we have Pluto again. Okay, so this is some very, very interesting energy. Transform with the Pluto. It's like, whoa. 2 different decks, and that's something that I haven't seen this whole time. So you really can't make that up. Okay. So Pluto is here twice to tell you that your psychic level is upgrading. You are receiving downloads, messages, and there's one specific one, or maybe just a creative line of opportunities that are coming to you at this moment because of the awakening that you're going through. You could have recently gone through something that opened up your third eye, because it has possibly been calcified for some time based on the things that you were around, the people that you were around in the past. Your environment has changed. I feel like you are in a different energetic environment. Some of you may have even moved, and that is why this energy has had an uptake in some kind of way. An absolute huge awakening of your inspiration, of your creativity. You may be in the process of creating something. You may be not necessarily hands-on. It doesn't have to be hands-on. It could be like making a product, but I feel as if this is also like birthing a service, creating something to inspire others, for others as well. A huge transformation within your confidence, I'm feeling like, as well. Oh yes, we have the confidence here. A huge transformation energetically for you. Like your vitality is up. You are ready to go. Like you have woken up, I feel like. And maybe that is, again, the coldness that I felt in the crystal. It was just like you were going from very, life is just this. It looks like this, and this is all that I get to experience, to being enlivened, it feels like, to just being completely reawakened to a new type of energy. Something spirit inspires you to create inspiration for others, is what I'm feeling like. This is like, maybe you heard it in a motivational podcast or a speech or something, where someone said one phrase or one word, and you're like, I could create this. I could be a part of this. This is the direction that I want to head into next. Something very purposeful is taking place in your life right now. It is shifting, and it is creating a whole new reality for you, is what I'm feeling like. The environment that you are in right now, it feels really good. It feels very passionate. And at the time that I am recording this video, the moon is in Aries. So it feels very much so like that. Like you could have a lot of fire in your natal chart, but very moon in Aries excitement. I'm ready to exert my power, to show my strength, to be very confident in what it is that I want to create, what is unfolding in my life, transforming and taking place. But I don't want to walk right over the release that is going on within the awakening as well. So yes, as one cycle energetically and you are eagerly ready to begin, another one must end. Something is dying off, especially in the Pluto transform here. Something has to die off in order for something else to reawaken, to be reborn or born again. So we're going to look into the tarot for even more specifics. Your reading is just so energetic, so passionate, but also very deep with this Pluto here. Like there's something that you are absolutely tapping into spiritually. And I feel like it's something that you're absolutely aware of. Like the eyes are open here, the eyes are open here. And in this state of power is when your eyes are closed. It's like, but you still have eyes open up top, trusting in spirit in that way, knowing that when your eyes are closed and you're focusing on your strength and you're focusing on your power, spirit is watching over you and has your back. Felt that message so strongly from your ancestors. Yes, y'all. Ace of Pentacles, wealth. Your inspiration will be absolutely introducing into you some wealth. I feel like one comes before the other. Like this is a product of you embodying your inspiration, of you embracing this creative side of yourself and exerting that. This comes in. We also have Three of Pentacles works. So yes, you put in the work and the wealth comes. You put in the work and the wealth comes. The first two cards that are out are Pentacle. So this is heavily around not just your career, but your creation. We have Eight of Wands. Yes, movement. This card is so gorgeous. Can we just talk about it? Yeah, okay. So Eight of Wands, movement. You have a really positive outcome coming in for you. Reliability, because this is who you are. The Prince of Pentacles, or the Page of Pentacles. You are a reliable person. You do the work. You always show up. You always participate, and but this is not just career. Let's see. Queen of Pentacles, nurture. Yeah. This is amazing. You guys, this is like a really a really beautiful reading because your ancestors are so proud of you. They are sending you messages of like confirmation, of, you know, affirmation, being very proud of you for your strength and the work that you put in, the work that you do. They're very proud of you. They're very proud of you. There's a lot of things moving and changing in your life. I did even mention some of you moving and your environment changing. So the Eight of Wands also may confirm that as well. But you are showing up as both the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, just because we can be established in ourselves, you know, material. This is actually, we have all Pentacles except for one tarot card. So this is all about your moolah, baby. And you can absolutely be more structured in that way, but also still be a student and learn how to better nurture your finances. Actually, my wife and I were talking about, you know, the difference between wealth, financial wealth, and financial health, and really focusing on the latter for our future, being financially healthy, and then focusing on wealth, or not necessarily focusing on it, but allowing that to happen as it does. So really looking at how you can nurture your finances, how you can heal yourself financially as well. If there is any financial trauma from the past, being very open to that healing, but also just really wanting to send you a gift, an affirmation to trust your inspiration, because it will be bringing you in new finances. Like, just focus on the work that you can do. Focus on the transformative work, how you can move into it confidently, and the vitality that it feeds you. Focus on that. Focus on, don't focus on like just the beginning stages of like, oh, look at all this work that I have to do, but look at this. Like, just look at this thing that I get to wake up and do all the time, or I get to just be a part of. Look at what it is that I can create. Look at all the possibilities. And, you know, at the end of the day, look at my wallet, you know, like, look at how, you know, all this time I thought I had to be a hard worker in order to gain wealth, when I just found where my power actually lies, which is in my inspiration. I don't have to fight for this. This comes to me intuitively, and you are waking up to that. Like, this is a knowledge that is unfolding within you, that you can really stick to what it is that you like, what makes you feel passionate, what makes you feel strong, and what makes you, you know, excited to participate in. Sticking with that, being reliable to that, and then watching your wealth grow. Okay, you will continue to be affirmed by this with the Eight of Wands. You will, this Ace of Pentacles is absolutely reflected in the Eight of Wands. So maybe receiving a deposit that you weren't expecting, or a letter that approves you for something financially. Whatever it is for you, pile number 4, there is news coming in of a financial upgrade, uptick, that will help you to build your future, will help you to focus on your financial future, will continue to allow you to work from a more intuitive place as well. I feel like the way that you're working is different. That is also what's taking a huge transformation, not just your third eye, but like your root chakra, the way that you move and work and, you know, go for things is absolutely taking or embarking on a transformation as well. This is absolutely so like straight to the point, but also beautiful, like such a beautiful reading of prosperity and tenderness, nurturing as well, but also like the intuitive part really gets me excited. That means that you have been doing the work to clear that third eye, in the crown chakra to get these messages through, to be able to accept this inspiration. And that's really exciting because you're going to receive confirmation. It's like, yes, you did it. Like, yes, you're doing it. Like, yes, you're living in this. So continue to do what you're doing. Continue to embrace your inspiration, embrace your creativity, embrace all aspects of you that you know ground you in this reality, and you will see things flourish. You will see things grow. Wow, period. Okay, so I feel like I flew through yours more than everyone else's, but we finally have the affirmation portion of your reading where your ancestors really just wanted to affirm you and everything that you're doing. So yeah, we have, wow, okay. I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. Wow. Wow. So maybe there was a fear around this transformation. Maybe you weren't the most eager to uncalcify your third eye because you thought that you were going to be bombarded and there was going to be a lot, and you may not have been able to handle the darkness. You may not have been able to call upon the light because you were so consumed by the darkness. And even here, we have this like in between the light and the dark. So we have this aspect. You absolutely could be a Scorpio just because Pluto is out here so heavily. Pluto also rules Aries, I believe. Nope, that's Mars. Mars is Aries and Scorpio. So Pluto is Scorpio. And just absolutely being able to be in the darkness, witness the darkness, but to call on the light. And just with the mere utterings of a prayer, just a few words to say, you know, I see this fear around my wealth. I see this fear around my inspiration and my intuition, or whatever it is for you. Pile number 4. And just, you know, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to really like look at this fear and look at it in a different way. So you could also be receiving like a lot of communication around that as well. What is fear? What is fear trying to teach me? How can I use my fear instead of letting it, you know, use me? A lot of different things that may be being uncovered for you at this time. You also have, there's nothing sexier than my authentic truth. Giving me very Scorpio vibes. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. And this is the environment that you're in. This is what it is now, honey. We are authentic. We are showing up as ourselves fully, like full, with her stomach being just that round. And it's like, even to take it more literally, at some point, a woman cannot hide that she's pregnant any longer. So really just showing up as your authentic self, full belly, full whatever, personality, full power, because it's not sexy when you hold back your power. It's not sexy when you try not to act wealthy or when you try not to step into your abundance because it makes other people feel like they lack. That's not sexy. What is the complete opposite, stepping in that, embodying that fully, but also just being, you know, having humility, being humble about it. There's a balance, absolutely. So knowing that you do the work, so you deserve the abundance. Knowing that you nurture yourself, so you deserve to be seen as happy and to embrace your happiness. And that's just simply what it is. So continuing to lead with that thought and knowing I'm meant to be here, I'm meant to experience this life fully. I notice the dark and the shadow, and I call on the light to help me have a nice balance with love, of course. We also have directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. So there's a lot right now that is going to be thriving for you with your focus. When you feed it, it will grow. So this Ace of Pentacles will turn into you, you know, embodying the Queen of Pentacles energy, making you feel like, oh, I got this. This is something that I am absolutely capable of handling. I cannot wait to grow this thing. I cannot wait to meet this product that is, coming into all of my hard work, or all of my hard work is going into. I can't wait to be able to finally say, oh, I've done it. Look at this. But until then, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, focus on what is thriving, and let that create more. Let my energy create more of what it is, with spirit, of course, with the co-creation of spirit. We cannot do it alone, which is why you had to open up your third eye in order for all of this to occur. So directing your focus onto what's thriving creates more of what you want. In stillness, I receive. You guys, it's all about you getting that bag. It's all about you getting those creative juices flowing, because that's also in the bag as well. Your creativity is your abundance. You are abundantly creative. You are abundantly inspirational. And in stillness is where you receive it, where it all opens up for you. This is depicted as receiving, but the card underneath with her hands wide open, that's also an option for you to receive. Be open is what your ancestors want to know. Just be open. Focus on what it is that you want, and then as you're focusing, things start to show up in your peripheral, and they start to appear. More starts to appear. So in stillness you receive. Be still. Let things come to you. Let inspiration, ideas, and even money come to you, honey, and it will. And that is your sexy, authentic truth. So for you, pile number 4, I have one more card of affirmation from your ancestor. We have, you are allowed to speak your piece. You are allowed to be you. You are allowed to stand up for yourself. You are allowed to engage. You are allowed to stand up for yourself. You are allowed to be vocal. Don't let anyone shut you down. Don't let anyone shut you down. Again, with the power here, it's just stand in that. Do not use it, and don't let your fears use you. Stand in your true, authentic power, and what happens. There's a very specific way I want to put this so that you can understand it. Use your power, the power that you hold, for the highest good of all. Not what you think is best for other people, but for the highest good for all. And you will intuitively know exactly what that means. As your third eye will happily tell you, your ancestors will happily give you that message. But just to speak up for yourself, and don't let anyone shut you down. If there are arguments that you just feel like you can't win, fine. Don't even try to fight it, because I really don't believe it's worth your energy. But just give your energy to the positive, feed the positive. And if something ends up not standing in your way, but if something ends up not encouraging you along this path, it will work itself out. It will find its way out. So yes, stand in your power, powerful word. Don't back down. Stand in your authentic truth and feel those sexy feelings. Okay. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, pile number 4. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you in another reading. Peace.